병력들이 조금씩 떨어지고 있는 것들은 분명히 아쉬워요. 이신영 선수가 병영 시즌에 오면서 스타원의 기량이라든지 이런 것도 약간 좀 아쉬운 모습이었고 스타트는 좋은데 스타원을
Oh man, STX busting out like a solid lineup here for their brutal matches. Bogus and Last both playing. Ooh, who played in set 1? Mini. Oh my God, Mini, Bogus, and Last. Those are probably the 3 best brutal players on STX. And oh, it's gonna be Leta. I'm a little bit disappointed that he's not wearing a dress, but that's okay. So it's gonna be a TVT third set. Wait, I have to capitalize last name. Okay. Leta dress VOD. I'll play it when he wins. Or if he wins, I should say. And we're gonna be on Jade. Alright, sweet. I'm actually glad that we're on Jade because the third base on Jade has reduced gas counts. I think it also has 1 less patch than normal. I could be mistaken on that. Either way, it's gonna encourage less turtley play. So you can't just like sit on 3 bases forever. You will run out of gas much more quickly than usual. So you have to be a little bit more active in how you go into the mid and late game in TBT. Anyway, it looks like leader will be white at bottom right, and the other guy will be purple top left, last. So let me just fix my overlay. Oh, Leta ceremony. Oh, that's the MLG one too. Nice, nice. I love how like the guy just had the tiny little GIF in the corner of his iPad, so the camera guy had to just zoom in really close into the little corner. Chobo iPad person. Was that like a blank sign? Alright. I don't think they realized they were on TV at all. Oh man, way over their heads. And we're gonna see a barracks planted out at the NAFLA here for last. A bit of a forward barracks, it's pretty standard. So he can make 1 marine and like bring it back home and then float the barracks out to scout. If he sees his opponent going for some kind of 14cc, makes it easier to put on pressure. All that good jazz. But Leta's not going to worry about it. He's going to build his barracks in his main. Because Leta does like doing sneaky things. He's not taking his gas though, so Leta looks like he's going for a 1-rax expand. Or sorry, no, wait, no, I'm right. No, Leta is white, okay. He's not really white, he's Asian, but you know what I mean. Yeah, so he's 1-rax expanding, whereas Leta usually just does something tricky, loves doing his sneaky drop plays and whatnot, but anyway, we are going to see the SCV of last go into the middle just to check for proxy racks in the middle. Even a single proxy racks could be quite nice to find there. And looks like the first marine is going to come out of the barracks and go to the top right, and the barracks floats out, as I said, towards the middle. One guy on gas now for Leta, so he is going to expand after getting his factory. And I think these build orders do favor Leta slightly. 1-rax expand versus 1 factory expand. Leta's expansion is going to be a little bit faster, And that tech advantage that Last will have, I don't really think it's going to make a difference here. I mean, it's cross map, so it's going to be difficult to do any early factory aggression. And I mean, I don't know. I guess he can maybe try and go for some drops or something. This is a decent map for drops with that high ground surrounding the main base. But yeah, we'll see. And there's the expansion from last.
결국 뭐 세트 득실 스코어 몇 점 차이 나는 건데 사실 승수가 더 중요한 거 아니겠습니까? 그렇죠. 네, 그래서 이번 경기만 이기게 되면 CJ 엔투스는 1위 반열에 올라가는 그런 상황이기 때문에
So,
굉장히 중요한 일전입니다.
first factory is down. I expect the second factory to start shortly as well. Usually what you do after going for a fast expand like this is you go throw down 2 factories ASAPly. Meanwhile, it's still just 1 factory, getting machine shop for last. Last TVT, by the way, is quite good, and Leta's alright. He does funny things, but it's not like particularly amazing. So, you know, I'd say Leta definitely has to pull something out here to take down last. The thing is, even if he loses, though, CJ's SE2 lineup is very strong as well. Like, you know, Effort hasn't played. Like, Hero Join is decent. I think he can probably play SE2. So, I think they'll still be alright, even if Leta drops the ball.
기세를 볼 때는 2라운드 통틀어서 8게임 단위 전체 1위입니다. 아주 굉장하고요. 네, 그러면서 이제 뭐 양 선수들이 러시 거리가
And we have a semi-wall in here for Leta. I like that. Gonna help deny any Vulture run buys. Ooh, look at that! A fast third factory as well from Leta. That's curious. I wonder if that indicates that he's going for that mass Vulture style in the mid game here. That'd be very interesting. Now, a Barracks is gonna come in here and see this, and he doesn't really have anything to ward that away. Yeah, we don't see an armory actually, so I'm fairly certain that Leta is going for mass Vultures. And that's a Vulture upgrade spinning in that machine shop. Now, let's see if Last figures the same. Last adding on a third factory as well to match. I think he kind of realizes what's going on and probably wants to spam out mass Vultures of his own. Because in the mid game in TVT, that's really the only counter to mass. Like, so you know, I always talk about the standard 2 styles of TVT, like Goliath Tank versus like Wraith Tank, or Goliath Tank Dropship rather versus Wraith Tank. But, you know, there's this one interesting thing you can do in the mid-game, which is to just mass Vulture and lay mines all over the place. And if the other guy just keeps going for, like, you know, Goliath Tank, they'll be stuck in their base for a really long time. Because your mobile detection is generally quite late when you're going in TVT. As you can see, neither player has an academy, and not even close to science vessels. So you can't detect the spider mines. All you can do is just like move across them and hope your units don't get fucked up. Which is not actually a terrible plan when you have mech, because mech instant shots everything. But it's still quite risky, especially when there's mines like on high ground like this and you have to run up the ramps. So basically the best counter to someone going mass Vulture is to mass Vulture yourself, but also add in like a few random tanks here and there to support your Vulture, so that if there is a straight up engagement, your army is much stronger. But then you also counter his mobility just with a lot of your own Vultures. So that's basically what's going on here. And looks like Leta is trying to sneak into the main here, but nice job blocking it by Last. But oh, doesn't block his natural though. Gonna lose a few SEVs here. Leta just focusing them down, and is gonna get cleaned up though. Nice little SEV stack there at the end. And you know, as I said in the beginning of the game, Leta would have to try something slightly out of the ordinary if he wants to pull this off. And indeed, look at this, he's also going for Wraiths. That is actually a very interesting transition from Leta. Look at this, not only, okay, so, this is a cool move from Leta for several reasons. Although, oh, maybe we should look at this attack first. No, it's not going to work. Okay, so first of all, you know, since Last is countering this by going 4 factory Vultures, you know, his anti-air is quite late, so Leta's kind of hoping that Last will get a little bit over-eager on making the Vultures, and even if he does make something that's not a Vulture, it'll probably be a siege tank rather than a Goliath. So if the Wraiths go in, then they can get do some good damage. And look at this, the Vulture might, can he snipe the guy making the armory? No, he doesn't get the guy making the armory, he gets the guy making the academy. But yeah, so that's one reason that this is good. The other reason that this is good is that Vultures only cost minerals. So he's saving up a lot of gas in the bank, or I mean both players really are. So, and Wraith's obviously a very gas heavy unit, I think they're 150, 100. So he could actually even support a second starport if he wanted to. We've actually seen that, I've actually seen that before, where a player goes for like mass Vultures into 2-port Wraith. It's actually really, really cool. Because normally going 2-port Wraith like severely limits your, you know, your other factory unit production. You can't really go Goliath Tank and Wraith. But to go for mass vultures and then 2-port raids is really cool, I think. It looks like Leta is not going to use the raids to go harass yet. He's just going to pick off this scouting barracks. And that's going to give enough time for Last to get some Goliaths out to at least defend his bases. But these raids now are going to give Leta a bit of map control and probably allow him to expand yet again. He does have to still be careful though against his opponent's vultures. And look at this, Last actually immediately scanning the third base. Last thinking exactly as I did that Leta would try and take this opportunity to expand. But he's not done so just yet. I think he's actually just built a command center in his main base now, so he's going to float that over. It is much safer to build it in the main, because otherwise, if he tries to build it at the third, it'll be very easy for Last to just run a couple of raids over there and snipe the SEV, and it'll be very, very annoying. So in the meantime, we do see Leta poking out now with his Vulture tank force. As I said, you do start mixing in some siege tanks here and there. Basically, this mass Vulture style only works in the mid game. Once you get like a critical mass of Goliaths and tanks, you can actually just attack move across minefields, and it's not a big deal. And then the Vulturing player needs, if he's still on Vultures and you have a bunch of tanks and Goliaths, then he's pretty much screwed. In a straight up fight, Vultures do almost nothing to Goliaths and tanks. Just because of damage types, Vultures do concussive damage, so they only do 5 damage a shot to large units. And oh, look at this! I like this. He's left. Last has left 1 sieged tank in his main base there. That's going to help him defend against any further Vulture run-bys and stuff. He does have to be a little bit careful though. That's a nice defensive move, but the thing is, if you leave it too close to your SCVs and he runs into a bunch of Vultures, he can actually lay mines next to the tank and then splash down all your SCVs, which is obviously not very good for you. Now the third command center is floating out for Leta. And a dropship as well, probably going to drop some Vultures at the natural, but Last now pushing in here towards Leta's natural, using his Vultures to buffer for his siege tank, sieging up in a good position, and actually going to start pushing Leta's tank line back. I think Leta might have to fall back to his wide ramp outside his natural here. I don't know if he should really be holding that position. I mean, he's okay for now, and he does not want to get contained in his natural, but still, this is a little bit tricky because he's going for so much right now. The faster third base, going for the harassment, that, Last's main ground army is a lot bigger. And you see, now we're going to see why that siege tank in the main is so useful. That's really going to help defend against these Vultures here. Leta's going to drop them down, and look at this, just getting instantly killed here. So the drop, doing a little bit of damage there at the natural, but not too much. Going to get a couple SCVs in the main as well. But more crucially is the fact that this third base is already mining for Leta, and I think Last has just started construction on his, and the dropship I think actually flying back did see that third base on the way for Last as well, so I don't know if Leta's going to try sending a Vulture over there. Oh, I do see a Vulture going there actually, but Last has sent a couple of Vultures to intercept, so that's going to be quite nice. So the Observer's not showing it right now, but 2 Vultures just blocked Leta's Vulture from attacking that SEV. Meanwhile, 4 factories, oh, see, now we got shot the Vulture. 4 factories, additional factories going down for Leta. Got to take advantage of that extra income from his third base. And yeah, it looks like Leta has actually managed to hold his high ground outside his natural, so he's not getting contained. So that is good, obviously. And otherwise, looks like the game's going to calm down a bit. I mean, the supplies are still very, very close. 110 against 119. So even though Leta's been doing fancy harassment here and there, got a faster third base, hasn't really shown just yet. But with that factory explosion, I think pretty quickly Leta's going to jump ahead in the supply, and also moving forward into the middle of the map here, starting to push down Last tank line. Looks like Last didn't really reinforce his army very well. So, or maybe he was too focused on defending or something. I'm not really sure where his units are, but getting taken down here in the middle of the map, losing that last siege tank, and look at this, Leta left over with a lot of siege tanks. I like how Leta is making his factories in like a cross as well. It's very Evangelion-esque. So yeah, Leta now with still just with a small supply advantage. Nothing serious, 115 to 105. And we do see Starport actually making some raids now for Last. That's a very interesting choice. I mean, earlier we saw Leta make a few raids, and then kind of Last just got a couple Goliaths, and then I don't actually know where the raids have gone now. Maybe they just died. But now Last actually being the one making the raids, because Last has a couple of Goliaths with his army for anti-air, but Leta's actually got no anti-air with his army. He's only got Vultures and tanks. So with a quick raid switch, Last could be able to pick off a few siege tanks for free. Force Leta's tank lines back a little bit. And it's very cool to see these transitions. You know, it's something we've been seeing a lot in recent TVTs. The players just kind of seemingly randomly making rate switch. Well, not really randomly, but you know, when they sense their opponent is kind of being a little bit too greedy and not making any anti-air, they do a rate switch and, you know, force the tank lines back a little bit. And just gaining a little bit of ground even is worth, you know, making a handful of rates, because the position is so important in TVT. But look at this, Leta actually making a hidden expansion at the top right there. That's properly hidden as well, so if Last scans either the main or the natural there, he will not see the command center making. If he sends a Vulture there, obviously he'll see it, but a lot of time, you know, most Terran players, even though a Vulture is actually such a small investment to send to to check out the bases, a lot of Terran players will neglect to do that and just use their comsats instead. So it's a very good move by Leta to kind of keep that hidden there for now. And the way that, you know, if you look at the middle of the map, the map is kind of being divided vertically now, so the tank lines are being drawn in the middle, kind of doing their good old World War I style, you know, entrenchments. But the rates are going to come out, pick off a couple of tanks, but there's only 2 rates though, and I'm not sure I like this, revealing it with only 2 rates. I think like, if he had waited for 5 or 6, he might have really caught Leta with his pants down and gotten, you know, a bunch of free siege tanks. But with only 2 rates, there's really not much that you're going to be doing. I mean, he's going to, or Leta is going to reposition slightly, but I don't even think that's because of the rates. I think he just actually wants to do a push or something. Meanwhile, oh man, I had something else really interesting to say. What was it? No, I had another really good point. Damn it, I can't remember. Alright, whatever. Leta's going for an attack here on the bottom, but that's a big tank line though from Last. Oh, it's gonna go Leta's way though, I think. He still has a couple of buffering units here, and it doesn't look like Last actually targeted his tanks properly. So wow, Leta actually cleaning up here in the middle of the map, now with an almost 15 supply advantage. Still very, very close. I thought it would be bigger actually. I looked at the supply count. I was assuming it'd be like a 20 supply advantage by now, but it's actually still very, very close. And Leta though taking a 4th base at the top right. Last has something floating at the 12. I don't think it's an expansion though, but Last actually is taking the bottom left main as his you know, semi-hidden expansion. Because even though these tank lines are being drawn in the middle of the map, you know, there's still a lot of space on the edges that Vultures can run past and go harass those bases, so I don't want to say those are safe expansions yet, but look at this, Leta cleaning everything up on the south side here. Last position in the middle of the map is just deteriorating rapidly, and now it is a proper 20 supply difference here, and not only that, but Leta has free access to go kill off that bottom left base. I mean, it's not finished yet, it's not mining, he could cancel it, but Last really needs that expansion right now. As I said in the beginning of the game, this map is not conducive to just, you know, 3-base turtle-y play. That 3rd gas is a low-value gas. I think it's only 1500, so you cannot just sit on your 3 bases and be fine for forever. Looks like something was, oh, it looks like he tried to make a command center there at 12 and canceled it. Lasted, I think it's just because he needed the extra money right now. You know, falling behind the supply, his money did drop quite low just now, so I guess he needed that for more units. But look at this, Leta not going to give him the chance here. Going to start pushing in towards his 3rd base. A big siege up on the low ground. He has no vision of the high ground though. He should be moving the Vulture up into the high ground to give him spotting. Actually, I don't know if that Vulture on the ramp actually gives him vision, but now he does have vision there, and he also has +2 attack, which is the crucial upgrade in TVT. It does let his tanks 2-shot his opponent's tanks. Only +1 is finished for Last, so that now is actually, wow, I don't know if this was an intentional timing or something from Leta, but this is actually a perfect time to attack with his tanks having +2 and his opponent's tanks not having +2. That is such a crucial difference, as I can't even begin to describe how huge of a difference that makes. That's almost like, you know, range goons versus non-range goons. It's just not even close. And oh, big mine in the mineral line. Actually, didn't quite kill. If that mine was like on the other side of the tank, that would have killed so many SCVs. But as it stands, looks like 12 o'clock base has been taken. And this is actually very interesting. So Leta's now mining from the top right, whereas Last has taken the 12 o'clock, which once again is one of those reduced value 3rd bases. So even though they're both like on 4 base right now, Last 4 base are a little bit weaker. And Leta also taking the top right natural as well. Last's bottom left main looks like it's finished, but obviously he can't transfer SCVs down there. And it looks like, oh, Leta's trying to pick off the tank. Doesn't get the tank. The mass repair saves it. This tank volley will get it though. And oh, the SCVs doing a great job splashing all of Leta's own tanks there, but there's just so many tanks in the back, and now he's lost so many SCVs. Last is down to 120 supply against Leta's 160. Oh man, things are looking worse and worse for Last. He was doing okay in the mid-game, but Leta with some good pushing in the middle of the map, managing to take it down, and now Vulture's coming down here to scout this Expo. So no way Last is going to be able to actually mine from this. Leta being a cutie as always. Is in a fantastic position, and looks like he's going to go clean up the rest of the units in the middle of the map now. He's drawn all of Last's forces over to that third base. Now he's going to go for the middle. Oh no, looks like he's actually going to go for the 12 o'clock. Alright, that's probably a better idea actually. And sending some units to kind of intercept as well. While the Vultures go take down the SCVs. Oh man, he's going to intercept the SCVs as they run away. Oh god. Ah, SCV! Those poor SCVs. They never knew it was coming. So, now we're going to have some command center wars here at the 6 o'clock. Oh yeah, it's going to be a command center joust. Could you imagine how awesome that would be? Like, I imagine that's something that bored command center pilots do. You know, when they can't find an expansion to go land at, they just like attach a giant lance to the side of the command center and just have jousts. Oh man, that would be so awesome. We need to have like medieval times, Brood War style, command center jousting, SCV dueling. Oh yeah. So, and it looks like the mines there are blocking both the command centers too. Oh wait, no, that one's landed. What the hell? Why did Last land his command center there? What is that even supposed to do? Is he gonna like make SCVs to harass the other SCVs? Is this actually SCV jousting as well? Alright, either way, Last is going for a big attack here towards the 6 o'clock. CJ's got, or sorry, Leta's got a few tanks here in okay-ish position, and oh man, a lot of reinforcements actually coming in from the back, and all these reinforcements are going to wipe everything out. Last GG's, and Leta will take game number 3, and CJ Entis takes the Brood War best of 3 here, basically taking down STX's top 3 Brood War players, Bogus, Last,